All right, so for the next few examples, I hope that you are noticing and really catching or looking out for the fact that these two examples are going to be our horizontal parabolas because we're starting with an x value. Okay, so this is where it's switching, and here we have both of these are in vertex form, which makes it a little bit easier. So first, if we notice our a value is a 1, there's nothing in front of our quantity here, so that means that our a value is a 1, and so our parabola is going to be opening to the right. That's what should happen. All right, and then we know that our h value, or I'm sorry, our k value, because it's located within the y, so this is going to be our k value. And technically we have nothing over here, so that's our h value. So our k value is going to be positive 3 and then 0. Okay, so maybe if you need to, start to kind of label everything before you just go ahead and chug along, okay? So the vertex is going to be 0, 3. So I'm going to locate 0 and then go positive 1, 2, 3. And my a value is a 1, so I'm going to go. Now usually when we move, you just have to keep this in mind, this is going to be a horizontal stretch. Okay, usually it's up 1, horizontal. There we go. Up 1, and then to the right 1, and then to the left 1. But we're actually going to move right first, and then up, and then right, and then down. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit different. So we're going to go up or over and up, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to look like this. Okay, so now when we have our picture drawn, we want to look at the domain. Now the domain is left to right, so it's starting at 0. So we want to bracket because it will actually be on 0 and it's going to infinity. And then the range is going to be now negative infinity to infinity because this is going to keep stretching and getting larger and larger. We have a lovely announcement going on. Now what's different also is that we have axis of symmetry. Now you always want to go through the vertex to figure out your axis of symmetry because it's mirroring this, okay? And now we have a horizontal line. We have our HOI. So our axis of symmetry is going to be y, and it's going to be our y value, so y equals 3. All right, so example 4, again, I want you kind of to start with right away, what is my graph going to look like? What's my points going to be? So right away, you should kind of key into, I know that it is going to be a horizontal, and my a value is a negative 3, so I'm going to be opening up the opposite way. Whoa, not that. There we go. And then this is my k value with my y, and my h value is going to be outside. So my vertex is going to be, my h is a positive 2, and my k value is going to be a positive 1. It's going to switch. Right, so I'm going to go over 2, up 1. And now from here, I need to move the negative 3 over 1. And again, usually it's rise over run, but it's going to be a horizontal stretch. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, then up 1. And then to the left, 1, 2, 3, down 1. And anytime our a value is different than a 1, you only just move the one stretch and then draw. And draw through there. There we go. Okay, so domain here, we're going from negative infinity to a positive 2. And that's going to be a bracket. Infinity is always a parenthesis. And then the range bottom to top, it's going to continue to grow and expand down forever. So our range will always be negative infinity to infinity. Again, our axis of symmetry, we're going through the vertex point, creating symmetry here. So it's going to be y equals, and you want to look at your y value, 1. All right, so down here, this is our example when we are not in vertex form. So again, you can do completing the square or axis of symmetry. So whatever you like and feel comfortable with is totally up to you. Okay, but just keep in mind when we're looking at our y values, okay, when we know that it's a horizontal parabola because it's x equals, we're finding our y value first. So this is actually y equals the opposite of b over 2a. So we get the opposite of our b value is a positive 6, and then 2 times negative 1 is going to leave us with a negative 3. Okay, and then we want to plug that in to our value here, so then we can get our x value. So let me change colors. So we have x equals, and we have a negative. We're going to plug in our negative 3 squared minus 6 times negative 3 minus 6. Okay, so again, this negative is going to stay, but negative 3 squared turns into a positive 9. And then a negative times a negative will be plus 18 minus 6. So negative 9 plus 18 minus 6 is going to leave us with a negative, or I'm sorry, negative 9 plus 18 is 9, minus 6 is a positive 3. So x equals 3. Okay, so now x equals 3, so my vertex is a positive 3, and my y value is a negative 3. And again, if you did complete the square, you're going to get it into the vertex form, and then you can get the same information, but whatever works for you. All right? So I am going to now go over to the right 3, 1, 2, 3, and down. Okay. Now again, I want to look at how this is going to open up. And my a value is a negative 1. That doesn't change. So I know that it's going to be opening to the left. And I'm going to go over 1, up 1, over 1, down 1. So there's really no stretch, just a normal horizontal parabola. Okay. And then domain is going to be coming from negative infinity, and it will be going to our 3. And then the range is going to be negative infinity to infinity. And axis of symmetry is our y value, and it's going to be y equals negative 3. All right. Okay, so what we're going to be getting into on Thursday is going to be the application problems. So I'm going to just make one more video for this because this is getting a little bit longer. Okay, so we'll just look for one more link to look at example 6.